Okay, now we got the mic. There we go. What's this? A VOD review? Hey, what's up, guys? It's Defiant here. Terrible intros aside, I have decided I'm going to do a VOD review of Baelfire Gaming Ascension Baelfire versus Starstorm Esports, I believe, over on XLNC's channel. And this was a really great game to watch. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed being on the analyst desk. And one of the biggest reasons I enjoyed this is this game was largely won through the jungle, so that's sort of what I'll be going over for the most part, because that's the most impactful thing. That was the biggest difference between the teams, is that Baelfire, spoiler alert, they won. Baelfire's jungler just put so much more pressure on the map that it was basically a no contest win at like 15 minutes. The game was very solidly in Baelfire's favor. So I'm just gonna start going over this. Okay, now that I've got that sorted out, I've got my epic pin over on the other monitor. I'm going to be sort of going over this. Let's skip over this little intro portion. I just downloaded the Twitch Vod.
For the side of Starstorm and our newcomers, you saw them game one. My goodness!
Right here
take
to
10 subs. Oh my goodness!
I'm just gonna mute this. Okay, so in pick ban phase, Starstorm Esports here has first pick in first ban. They ban out the Jace. I don't really care about bans that much. So overall, I'm gonna stop here, talk about the comp. So Starstorm here has good picks and a little bit of that team fight wombo. You can like get the Aatrox and the Hecarim. You can Sivir ult the Aatrox and the Hecarim. They start running up super fast for the engage. If they're ahead, they can do this. Or if they won't get insta-bursted, Orianna throws a ball on either Hecarim or Aatrox and then gets an ulti off, and then Hecarim ulti, and Aatrox gets all 3 Qs, and it's a clean team fight, and then Lux cleans up with her ulti. But the problem with that, Kinnan, Jarvan, Xayah, and Yuumi all have really good team fight ults that synergize well. While Aatrox, his ult doesn't really affect the team fight as a whole, it just affects him and whoever he hits. Hecarim's ult scatters people, which is bad. It doesn't synergize with Orianna and Lux's ult. Sivir ult doesn't matter. Orianna ult is only good if people are grouped. It would like if she tossed it on the Aatrox and Aatrox could get a couple people around him, that could be decent. And then Lux ult, massive damage, straight line. If they line up, it's just a free team fight. While these people don't even have to give that much thought, they just have to say, okay, we're going in. Jarvan goes in, ults 2 people, solid. Karma throws her Q in there, that's massive poke damage. And then Yuumi can hop on Kinnan or Jarvan or Xayah and ult, and the combination of those 2 ultimates should be able to just auto-win a team fight. There's no way Starstorm is going to be able to team fight here unless they are massively ahead. Or at least someone on Baelfire is so far behind that their ulti's not going to even matter in a team fight, but that's going to be pretty hard to do, considering every single one of those ultimates is going to be very effective regardless of how much damage they do. Let's get into the actual game. Okay, so now their clear has actually started. They both finish red buff at approximately the same time. Jarvan goes for his Raptors, while Hecarim goes for his Raptors, while J4 goes for Hecarim's red buff. This is a very, very classic cheese that Jarvans just kind of do in most matchups. How you avoid this? The top lane drops a ward near at the entrance to your blue buff. It's that easy. Or the jungler does, or the mid laner does. They had 3 people who could have literally dropped a ward, and they would have had some sort of... They wouldn't have lost a blue buff for absolutely no reason. So the Hecarim is going for his raptors instead of trying to invade or level 2 gank, and that's fine. The only problem is you're against a Jarvan, you should know he's taking your blue buff right now. And then Hecarim goes for his Krugs. Again, surrendering his top side to Jarvan, but Jarvan decides to not try to push that lead, that farm lead, any further than that. Personally, I would have... I'm going to stop that right there. What I would have done, I would have gone right here. I would have placed a ward here or here. Taken the Gromp or the Wolves, depending on how ballsy I was. And then if I take the Wolves, I'm going to go ahead and go to the Gromp because it's free. But if I just take the Grump, I would look for maybe a gank top lane, though that's not happening, or something mid lane. If I couldn't, then yeah, I'd do what he's doing right now and just go for more farm. Okay, so what Hecarim's doing right now, with the bot side clear into trying something bot lane, not the best when your bot lane is super pushed up. There's no reason for him to go right here and try anything because there is no way he's going to be able to gank that. Though I do like what he does mid lane here, going mid lane. It's just not... nothing comes from it. Because I don't think the Orianna was ready for it. Maybe a little bit of a communication failure on their part. And they don't really get anything from the Karma. That wasn't a successful gank. And as you'll notice, if we rewind and look at the mid lane here, the Karma was basically full health and then took that much from that gank. That means Experiment 626 here just hasn't been pressuring and poking with his ball. He's been a lot more passive in the mid lane, which on Orianna you don't need to like snowball and get ahead, but I feel like this is the only chance he has to actually put pressure on the Karma and try to win the lane, and he's just neglecting that and not doing it. So let's go back. You'll see the Hecarim is heading up to the top lane to gank the cannon. You can see a going in ping right there. Let's see how this goes. No, he's not, and he's just taking the Scuttle Crab. I would have gone for the gank immediately because now Kennen just warded, or Kennen whatever. If he didn't ward before, you know it's warded now because he just walked through it. And as you can see on the screen, there was a gank bot lane that was bad for Baelfire. Jarvan had to flash to not get hit by that Lux binding, but you'll see here they continue fighting, whatever. It doesn't lead to anything yet. So overall, neither jungler has made like a really successful gank. But J4, by taking the blue buff, and I believe he's currently taking the Scuttle. No, he just took the Scuttle. J4 shouldn't be even with Hecarim here on farm. He should be behind because he's J4 and he can't take Raptors or Krugs that well on his first clear, but now he's tied. Just putting that out there. Now let's wait for... You can see the Hecarim is now counter-jungling those Raptors, which is good from the Hecarim. But the problem is, now he's getting caught out. Experiment 626 was not ready to follow up on that, and now Hecarim is just going to die. Spoiler alert, I guess, but it's pretty obvious. There is no getting out of this for Hecarim, and he just gives first blood over for no good reason. He got way too greedy for the Raptors. Now you'll see here in the bot lane, there's a lot of fighting going down. It's kind of questionable who's winning this. Of course, the Yumi's full health, but it's Yumi. She's the squishiest champion in the game. They're getting a lot of poke, though, on Starstorm. It's a lot of pressure going down bot lane. Now look at that bind. That was a very good bind from Lux. They caught Yumi out of position, and they killed her. But then the problem comes, sorta, during this gank. They should have just let Hecarim go for it. Maybe baited that they were going in, then pulled back. They kind of let Lux die for free there, when Lux could have just walked away. Maybe Sivir walks up, spell shields something, walks away. Hecarim can just solo Xayah. And now they lose like nothing off of dying there, because Twilight Mole has TP. Yumi hops on Twilight Mole, they TP back to lane. They get that wave. So it's not the best gank. They definitely could have done better there. Starstorm. Because, I mean, yeah, they forced the TP, but that's the whole reason they took the TP, is so they could just TP back bot lane after both of them died or were forced to back, and not really suffer anything from that. And then Hecarim just takes free poke there. That's not the best thing, but I guess it doesn't really affect him too much. And now Hecarim and Orianna it looked like they might have been able to do something there, but really it's just nothing's really happening down there. You're just wasting some time, and Jarvan wasted some time. He should have been going bot a bit sooner. That way they might have actually been able to get a like guaranteed gank. He's not level 6, so he can't really do anything here. The Lux comes in, they get that free kill bot lane. Aatrox canceled Kinnon's TP, or Kinnon canceled Aatrox's TP, which was good for Kinnon. And now you see in that little flash of the mid lane, let me see that again. Okay, pretty much full health. Bam. That's a lot of damage. Orianna can no longer fight Karma. The lane's basically over for her. She's a little bit behind in CS, but Karma just has so much poke, there's not really gonna be a lot of opportunities for Orianna to do anything. All she can do is roam, like push in the lane, roam, and try not to take too much poke. Aatrox, I gotta give a hand to Aatrox here, because yeah, he's 10 CS behind, but this is not an easy lane for him. He actually did very well this game. I think he did the best out of all of Starstorm, just because I think he dies once at the very end of the game as they're in the push to take the Nexus. He did well for being in a disadvantageous position. It's just that he didn't have the ability to take how well he was doing to other lanes, because he was just getting bullied and harassed the entire laning phase. Okay, so now Baelfire are looking at Starstorm here, doing the dragon. So Yumi hops onto J4, and they start to engage. Keep in mind, J4 and Hecarim are both still level 5, and Karma is now roaming down because Orianna is picking up a wave in the mid lane. Orianna, I feel like what Orianna should have done is ignored the wave, even though, just because she's not far behind on CS, she's not going to lose a ton from ignoring this wave. She needed to come down and contest the Karma, or this was a 100% lost fight. And as you'll see here, it's just no contest. This is basically just a massacre of Starstorm's bot lane. The TP comes in from the Kinnan, not super necessary, but it helps. They completely force them off of that, and Orianna gets caught out trying to take a ward and has to burn flash or she dies from team follow-up. So overall, really, really poor play from Starstorm and good play from Baelfire. So yeah, Baelfire take the free dragon because no one on Starstorm that could have contested was alive anymore or on that side of the map. And they just go back to clearing, doing whatever. As you'll notice, the gap between the junglers here, 1-2-0 with 36 CS from the Hecarim, 3-0-0 with 44 CS from the Jarvan. So Jarvan has taken the really, really bad Dragon Call from Starstorm and just snowballed that into a 2-kill lead, and he's at 0 deaths while Hecarim's at 2. And he's ahead on CS. So he is very much in the lead, and he's just starting the snowball, which eventually is what makes Baelfire win the game. Okay, now we'll be looking bot lane here. Xayah is in the middle of the lane. Yeah, their wave is pushing, but it's Sivir and Lux versus just Xayah right now. Hecarim comes in to try and do something here, which is just really bad. That's just a complete waste of time by him. Yeah, he's clearing out vision, but he shouldn't have been bot lane in the first place. There was no reason to be there. There was no way he was going to be able to gank. Now he's in mid lane at the one time he could have ganked the bot lane. Meanwhile, Jarvan spent that time farming. I believe he just got that scuttle, and now he's counter jungling. So he's doing so much more, and as you'll see, this Hecarim goes for the gank here. They do 2 ults. They don't make Karma burn a single summoner. She gets away. Now that was very lucky, but as you'll see, they overchase when they know that there's a Jarvan there and that Kinnan can come down at any second. Aatrox does end up getting the kill, but there's nothing he could have done to stop Kinnan and Jarvan from absolutely massacring Experiment 626 and Smitty McGee of Starstorm. So now, after this little fight bot lane, which, spoiler alert, goes in Baelfire's favor, you'll notice that they have a 2k gold lead. Which, of course, 2k gold, that's something you can come back from, but it's not a light disadvantage. They are definitely going to have, Starstorm is definitely going to have some trouble trying to win this game when they're 2k gold behind at 10 minutes. 4 kills to 8 kills, lost a dragon. It's really looking grim for Starstorm, but it's not unwinnable. So what they need to try to do now is focus on shutting down that Jarvan. And as you'll look top here, Aatrox starts taking a good trade here, gets out. Actually gets out. He did have to burn flash, but had Jarvan not been there, that would have been a kill on Kinnan. Meanwhile, Hecarim farming. he has to farm at this point to try to catch up with Jarvan. Try to finish his first item, which he still hasn't finished, while Jarvan, on the other hand, is working on his second item. There's a huge difference in the jungle this game. Like I said, the game is won through this jungle difference. And you're starting to see really how big of a difference there is when you have a 1-in-3 Hecarim against a 5-0 Jarvan who's up 10 CS. Okay, so as you'll notice, Jarvan just took Rift Herald, which is really bad for Starstorm. There wasn't anything they could do because there was so much pressure in the top lane, Kennen versus Aatrox, and there's no way that Hecarim could have contested it. But they still really, really did not want Jarvan to get the Eye of the Rift Herald, because now he can basically just pick a lane and take a turret. And we'll see what he does with that here. Okay, so we're starting to notice something bot lane. Jarvan is coming down. Keep in mind, he has the Rift Herald. He has his ultimate, and he has Flag and Drag, and he has Flash. Basically, Jarvan guaranteed gets a kill, takes the turret. There's no way for Starstorm to stop him, because Hecarim is trying to do something in the mid lane while his bot lane is about to get absolutely pulverized. They didn't know... Well, they knew Jarvan was bot lane, and they should have warded because of it, but they didn't, so now they're just going to... You'll see what happens. It's not pleasant for them. So Jarvan... just sitting in the lane, because he's Jarvan. He can do that. He has the Rift Herald. Bam. Rift is there. Now, it's time for him to do whatever the hell he wants to do. If they overstep even a little bit, Jarvan just deletes them. He gets the turret, because he's Jarvan, and ult, they're both dead. There's nothing they can do to stop it. Karma roamed down. Orianna just pushed lane, I guess. That was a bad flash on Jarvan's part, for sure. And then he didn't notice the Yuumi jumping on him. They might have been able to get Hecarim after that. But now they just get a free dragon. So they get a free kill, a turret before 14 minutes, and they get a dragon. And there's absolutely nothing Starstorm could do about any of it, just because Jarvan is putting that much pressure on the map. And he's taking objectives to give him more objectives. He took the Rift Herald, then he took the turret, and got a double. And now you'll see here in the mid lane, Experiment 626 just got his health more than cut in half by a single Q root from Karma. There's literally nothing he can do against this Karma. Karma's not even up much CS, doesn't even have that much of a gold lead. It's just Karma is extremely strong right now, and he didn't shut her down earlier. And now top lane, the bot lane went top. They're getting some free damage on the turret. And Starstorm just isn't responding except for the Lux, but the Lux can't even one-shot a Yuumi because she's 1 in 4. And there's nothing she can do. Even with landing all of her abilities on the squishiest champion in the game, Lux cannot kill Yuumi. So, the bot lane went top, got a free turret. They just got the flash from Orianna in the mid lane. They're just systematically going after all of the turrets. And there's nothing that Starstorm can really do about it, just because Baelfire is so strong. Here, this is the biggest mistake Jarvan makes the entire game. He just dies for free with a 900 gold shutdown. I don't know what he was thinking there. That kind of makes his team unable to fight there. Makes his team unable to fight. And then all of a sudden, they try to go in on the cannon. It works out. They get a kill. But I think Baelfire gets a pick here, if I remember correctly. They go for the root, and then Lux deals no damage. Xayah's coming in for the flank. They got the slow, and the ulti goes down. They get a free pick on the Lux, and think the Sivir flashes. Yep. So, overall, even though Starstorm did get some gold back from that, they're still at a 3.5k gold disadvantage, and Lux just got picked, which is bad. Now, Orianna has enough wave clear that they can't really take this turret, and now Yuumi gets picked, which is good on Experiment 626 and Aatrox. That was actually some decent coordination from them. And they just Experiment 626 alone, if he's able to dodge enough poke, should be able to hold the mid turret solo, just by QWing the wave. They kind of ARAM there for a second, which isn't the best play, but whatever. Aatrox is holding off Kinnan bot lane. Kinnan has TP now. Aatrox does not, so that's so that's good pressure for Kinnan to be putting down. And Orianna's just holding the mid lane still. Hecarim's clearing vision around the mid lane. Not much is happening. Karma takes Experiment 626 down to no health with a single Q, because Karma just deals that much damage. And Dragon is coming up in 20 seconds? 14, 13, yeah. So that's that's actually a huge dragon for Baelfire to get, so they're definitely looking to get it as soon as it comes up. We'll see what happens there. Okay, so Baelfire does a good thing here. The Xayah goes in the back of the dragon, takes that blast plant over, makes it impossible for Hecarim to steal without blowing ulti or flash, but he doesn't have flash. They just get a free dragon, and it's an earth dragon, which is arguably the most powerful dragon in the game. That 2 ulti combo that I said, Yuumi and Jarvan, just absolutely decimates all of Starstorm, and they nearly get aced here. The Aatrox manages to get a kill on the Kinnan, but realistically, there's no way he actually holds this turret. But the thing is, they don't go for the turret. They go for the Baron because they realize the only person alive is Aatrox. We just got an Earth Drag, and we have an Infernal, and we have a Jarvan and a Xayah. There's no way that Starstorm is going to be able to even get to the Baron before it's dead, just because they can burn through it so well. And then they all back. It's literally just a free Baron because they took a free fight after getting a free dragon. And all of that happened because Jarvan is 7-1 and basically can one-shot anyone on the enemy team just because he put so much pressure on the map early game. I'm not going to go over the rest of the game because it's literally just Baelfire taking all the objectives that they want while Starstorm sits by and watches. So let's just fast forward to the end of the game. I think Starstorm maybe gets one good fight in here, but it's definitely nowhere near enough to actually finish the game, or get them back in the game. Then Baelfire gets a free dragon, or a free Baron. Smitty McGee tries to come in for the steal, but Karma just goes up and pressures him off of it, and I believe just solo kills him. No, he doesn't. He goes into the Baron pit, steals the dragon, but then Sivir gets caught out, dies. Experiment 66 gets caught out, and where is it? Should die any second. There we go. So it's just Aatrox and Lux versus an entire team of Baron minions. There's no way they win this, as you see. He just hops over the wall, and they go directly for the Nexus. They ignore the fact that Aatrox and Lux exist, because it's just game over. Aatrox finally dies. Again, compliments to the Aatrox. He was... I don't want to... Yeah, I'm going to say the best player on Starstorm, just for being able to survive in that matchup and try to stay somewhat relevant in the game. But overall, it was a pretty hard stomp from Baelfire. And I go through a little mini analysis of the game here with Zenadax. But yeah, this is the end of the VOD review. Overall, really, really great play from specifically Baelfire's jungler. Probably the best player on the team, I'd say. And I'll definitely give Aatrox some credit, but no one else on Starstorm really put up that much of a fight. Their bot lane made some plays, but in the end, Baelfire's bot lane was just too strong and solo killed them without the jungler's help, I think twice, I don't know. Really good performance from Baelfire. Not so great performance from Starstorm, to be completely honest, but still, both of them pretty decent teams. It's just Baelfire pulled ahead in this one. Very, very good play from Baelfire's jungler. I was Defiant for XLNC Shoutcasting, and I'll see you all later.